Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and I have a diamond in the rough for you guys to meet. His name is Kenny Dyson. He's an edge rusher out of Bryant University. Nice to have you on, sir.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate you.
Kenny, a lot of people really already know you, man. I mean, you've been an all-conference athlete several times over. Very successful edge rusher there for Bryant. Over 25 career sacks already, and so fairly well established. Why don't you kind of set the stage for us? Tell us where you're from, and we'll start walking through your journey.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm from Stamford, Connecticut, born and raised. Growing up in, all through high school and everything, I played primarily football and basketball and lacrosse. For collegiate purposes, it came down to between football and lacrosse. I don't want to talk too much about lacrosse, but I definitely fell in love with that sport. Um, but I love football more, so I ended up, sticking with football to kind of gear me in the direction of, obtaining a scholarship to help, me get into college and, to help my family and ultimately to chase my dreams of, playing collegiate football and seeing where that road takes me. So yeah, it came down to Bryant, Army, and Cornell as far as legitimate offers. I visited Army West Point several times, but ultimately, the military service background, nothing against anyone in that field, but I just didn't feel like it was for me. So I chose Bryant, and that was the most convenient, I'd say. I'm only about 2.5 hours or so from where I'm from originally here in Connecticut. Came in, I thought, I was going to be a linebacker, like a middle linebacker and Mike linebacker, because that's what I played in high school. But they handed me the D line folder, or they handed me my playbook folder with my name, and my position was D line. So I said, okay, out the gate, we're adjusting. I came in at 6'3", 205, 204, pretty light. So right then and there, I knew from the jump that I had to put some weight on. Um, First year coming in, it was more of like an outside linebacker type of deal. And then obviously COVID hit. Actually, let me backtrack. Mostly special teams guy for most of my freshman year in 2019. Towards the end of the season, I started to gain playing time as a defensive end slash outside linebacker. Um, Fast forward to 2020, COVID. We had a short season, 4-game season. Didn't start that year. Was still a rotational guy, still learning how to play DN, learning our defense at the time too. Going into 2021, for the first 3 games, I played well and was doing well enough to earn the starting spot. Come game four, so from game four in 2021 on, I was a starter. I love gaining knowledge of the position and learning our plays and learning how to make plays and how to play the game at the collegiate level. And obviously it's not just me on the field; it's the other 10 guys in the field. We're all collaboratively working together. Every single play and playing our hearts out. I'm obviously grateful for all the coaches that have came through and helped me become the player that I am today and the athlete that I am today.
Cool. So, Kenny, just want to backtrack a little bit just to sort of recap somewhat. Stamford, Connecticut, went to King's School, for high school. Played some lacrosse, basketball, and obviously eventually found yourself to Bryant, having offers also from Army and Cornell. See, I take notes during these things.
Yes, sir.
We're in good shape. Kenny, obviously you chose to pursue football because you love that sport the most. So, dude, I gotta ask you, what is it about the game of football that you do love
Yeah, so I'll take you back to when I started, playing in fourth grade. Like, I loved watching on TV. I grew up a Giants fan. Obviously, at that time period, it was around like 2006, 2007. So those are the good years. I just loved watching them on TV. And then I asked my parents, I said, hey, can I play football? All that type of stuff. And They set me up to play in our town league, like I said, back in fourth grade. And it was tough at first because I didn't know about all this equipment that I had to put on, and I had things on the wrong way. I had my girdle on the wrong way. Um, but as I learned the game, at a young age, I just loved the thrill of tackling someone, hitting someone, and being on that defensive side. And obviously on the offensive side is all the glory and everything, but I think defense is usually an underrated aspect of the game. And from there, I was able to just fall in love with it. And I think that um, defense is definitely my thing, and I fell in love with it. Like I said, I was hoping to play linebacker, but they had bigger plans for me, and I didn't even know it. So definitely thankful to shift gears and be able to play the D line.
Cool. So, again, growing up in Connecticut, ended up starting to play football there in the fourth grade. You had mentioned you were a bit of a Giants fan. Obviously, haven't seen as much success these days, but who'd you grow up idolizing, man? Was it Strahan or was it somebody else?
Um, I was more into the linebackers, so like I'd say Antonio Pierce was a guy, that I love watching, and then obviously like the Ray Lewises and like those guys. But from just being a Giants fan, like I said, Antonio Pierce, even Chase Blackburn, and you got some dogs over there. Strahan, OCU Manura, Chris Canty, or not Chris Canty. He's an offensive lineman. I forget who else, but Justin Tuck. Those guys. They definitely sparked something in me, and wanted me or made me want to play football. So yeah, for sure.
Cool. So, and again, after high school, found your way to Bryant. Bro, let's just talk about Bryant for people that maybe don't know the university very well. So, what makes it special for you?
Yeah, so Bryant, located in Smithfield, Rhode Island, just north of Providence, about 15 minutes north of Providence. Very small school. Obviously Division I FCS football. We started playing in the Northeastern Conference. With teams like Sacred Heart and Wagner. Um, you know, uh, the Duquesnes, the St. Francis, like those kind of schools. Um, and from there, we actually shot up in conferences every single year. So after 2020, actually, we moved to the Big South. After the Big South, we went to the Big South Ohio Valley Conference, and we were facing new competition almost every year, and I think that was also a good challenge for me and our team. A lot of teams didn't really hear about Bryant, didn't really know about Bryant, didn't know where Bryant was, and like who we were. And we had to come out and play pretty hard and every single week, and just prove ourselves every single week that we belong. And I mean, on an individual level, just saying that I belong, and like all my teammates, we belong on this stage, and we can ball too. So
And I mean, of course, Bryant also a very good academic institution. So, what were you able to accomplish there as a student?
yeah. So I graduated in 2023 with my degree in marketing, double minor in communications and psychology. I tried to go the finance route, believe it or not, but the number crunching wasn't my thing, and I had to fall back and look at some resources and talk to certain people and figure out what was the best route for me. And marketing was definitely a good field for me, and I'm happy I switched gears and got that degree.
So, let's just say hypothetically, maybe 5, 10 years. Well, whenever football is done for you, man, what do you see yourself doing?
I see myself. I'm actually interested in real estate as well. I forgot to mention that, but I do see myself being, in the real estate field, as well as either corporate sales or corporate marketing in some aspects. And I just feel like I can obtain a lot and do a lot. Whether it's football or not, I feel like I have enough drive to be able to provide not just for me, but my family as well.
Cool. Well, let's shift back to football, man. Talk about y'all's defense there at Bryant. Like, how would you describe it?
Um, Yeah, so we actually go by a couple pillars, four pillars, that kind of lay the foundation for our defense. I'll just briefly talk about them. So one of them was attention to detail, just paying attention to little things, and then, when we're tired, just still like getting your feet behind the line. If we're running like gassers or attention to detail in the lift, attention to detail in the meetings and stuff like that. That was one pillar. Positivity was another pillar. Um, Obviously, this game brings a lot of adversity, and just trying to stay positive and uplifting, through it all. Urgency is another one. Just not being too relaxed, and just having a sense of urgency, having a sense of pace. With everything that we do, I guess an example would be on, during practice, like it's practice, we're here to get work in every day. Like don't slack off, every rep counts, we're preparing for each week. We're trying to get better and better. And the last pillar that we have is compete. Compete in everything you do, and just give it your all and everything. That's all we can ask for from every single person, whether you're a starter or not. Um, and getting into more of like the X's and O's. We're a 4-2-5 defense, but we mix in certain personnels and formations and stuff like that. Like we'll go to a 3-4, or we'll go to like a bear front with a wide seven, wide nine tech. Um, so but yeah, our base defense is 4-2-5 with two high safeties.
And Kenny, let's just be real, man. After a while there, you eventually kind of established yourself there as really one of the leaders of your not just your defense but your team as well. So, kind of just want to get your take on really what it means to be one of your team leaders.
Yeah, so being a leader, it means a lot. I had someone ask me like if there's a difference between being a leader and a captain. I said slightly. I think being a leader is, at all times is doing the right things even when no one's looking. Setting an example, and then being a captain, just representing the program the right way, on and off the field, in the classroom and not, um, socially and not, just representing the program and, who we are and what we stand for. But yeah, I love being a leader. I was a two-time captain for Bryant in 2022 and this past year, voted by the players. So it meant a lot to kind of receive that recognition, and I was grateful to wear that C on my chest and make a lot of my teammates proud. So yeah.
Right, and let's just kind of look at you as an NFL prospect. I mean, obviously, right now, man. I mean, that's why we are talking. We're talking under that framework of you hopefully getting to the pros here very soon. So, when we look at you as an athlete, I'll just say that much. Um, what do you feel separates you from everyone else, man? Give me an idea of maybe perhaps your best attributes and how you see yourself translating to the next level.
Yeah, so I feel like, one of my biggest strengths, as an athlete, as a defensive end, edge rusher, however you want to label me, is my speed and my ability to catch the edge. I feel like throughout the years I had to learn, um, how to properly game plan for certain guys, certain tackles, and certain schemes. And that comes with film. Watching film and going out to practice and repping your moves that you're gonna do this week and all the plays that you're gonna run, that coming week. But yeah, I'd say my speed and my ability to catch the edge quick is definitely one of my strengths of my game.
Cool. And so, again, just wanted to go back and highlight some of the things that I was able to find for you. At least sometimes the numbers are a bit off. So if you got other numbers, let me know. But uh, 25 and a half career sacks, um, first time all, first team all conference several times over, again, very well established in your conferences. Of course, you had kind of highlighted how, Bryant has sort of, moved its way, maneuver itself through a couple of different conferences as of late. So, I know you've put together a lot of solid games, some great memories. When you look back at the entirety of your career, give me a couple of highlights, man. Are there a couple of games or something that you can maybe share?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first one that jumps out at me is the last game I ever played. Um, and I say that because it was a good way to go out. On a win. Obviously, a blowout win is always a good way to end the season. But speaking individually, that was my best one of my better pass rush games of the year this past year. Finishing with 2 sacks. I should have had maybe 3 or 4. But sometimes you got to chase the quarterback out the pocket, and he'll get rid of it. Another highlight this year, actually, too. We were running like a 3-man twist up front, um, and I had jumped up because I was like the looper. I had jumped up, and it was a screen. I had jumped up and caught the ball right on my shoulder pads, and kind of landed with it. So that was my second career interception, and I felt like that was one of my best plays of my career. Another highlight I would say maybe is um, just being with the guys every single day and every single game day. It's those moments you cherish the most because like every year your team changes. Every year you got guys leaving, you got guys graduating. So just being able to cherish those moments where it's hard times and then bad times, good times, all the above. It's just going through it with the guys, that you put so much work in with.
Kenny, I was sitting here thinking, at some point, perhaps over the past few seasons, maybe a couple of people might have asked you, well, why didn't you transfer, man? Why didn't you transfer up? I mean, I know that has to be a legitimate question people have asked you before, especially after a good outing in 2022. Um, do you want to provide an answer for that, or what?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, people have asked me, and it's not something I totally regret. I would say. I only okay, so I'll lay it out. So we finished the 2022 season. A couple of my roommates were thinking about transferring. So my direct roommate transferred to FIU, and another one of my roommates transferred to Buffalo, and that had me thinking. They're seeking opportunities to put themselves on a bigger stage, and get more recognition, and hopefully go in there and make an impact right away. It was something I thought about. And um, yeah, I wouldn't say I totally regret it. It's just I can't say that because I enjoyed all my 5 years at Bryant, and I'm thankful for that. But there was moments where I was like, hey, maybe I should just test the market, test the portal, like see who's interested and whatnot. But at the same time, there was also a little bit of loyalty that I had to Bryant, because really I came in there, one of the smallest fishes on the team, and um, I just kind of like grew up and like matured, and I gave everything to Bryant. So I felt like, we just had some unfinished business. Obviously this year, we fell short of the conference title, but I gave it all to Bryant, and I felt like why not just finish it at Bryant.
Dude, that's fair. I know I had. Sorry to have to throw that question out to you. I'm pretty sure, a couple of people have probably asked you that at some point. But loyalty is something that you don't get too much these days in sports in general, not just football. But hey, I definitely respect the fact that you decided to stay. I'm pretty sure Bryant loved it as well. I mean, again, represented the school very well on and off the field. So really, really nice to be able to finish out strong there. So Kenny, I also have in my notes that after your time there at Bryant, you actually spent some time at the College Gridiron Showcase, correct?
Yes, sir.
So walk me through some of the highlights there, man. You were able to go out there, showcase your talent, maybe talk to a few scouts. So talk about that experience.
Oh no, yeah, it was great. I originally didn't really, receive that invite, but my agent pulled some strings and, talked to some people and helped me, get that invitation. So shout out to him. But yeah, it was a great experience down in Texas. That was my first time going to Texas. I've never seen Texas. So it was great off the bat. But yeah, so that 3-day weekend was kind of cool, and it was great to get out there and kind of like show everybody, what I got, and what kind of player I am. And yeah, I talked to a few teams. I talked to a few teams right out the gate. So that first day was kind of just like, an orientation day, people speaking and everything like that. But we had we had like a few hours to where the scouts could, pull players and interview them. And I talked to a few, guys on Friday, Saturday. Saturday was a practice where we did drills and one-on-ones. Overall, I'd say I had a pretty good day. Definitely some good talent though. Um, obviously facing guys that deserve to be there and deserve the recognition that they're getting. And then Sunday was the game. That was a cool experience as well. And then getting a chance to talk to another scout after that game was also, you know, um, just humbling. And I'm very blessed for the opportunity to go down there and put my talents on display.
Cool. Sounds like you had a lot of scouts interested, man. Give us a ballpark, man. How many scouts you think you talked to?
Um, I'd say 10 or 11, 10 or
10 or
11
11
teams.
scouts. Hey, man, that's not bad for a guy who ended up going to the CGS. Didn't think he was gonna get there, but obviously did, and really shined there at the CGS. So I guess the question right now is, what are you doing now? So give us some sense as to what you're doing, where you're training, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so every day it's just trying to make sure I'm eating. That's the number one thing, is just making sure I'm eating and putting on the weight that I need to put on and putting on the mass that I need to put on. Coming into March. And obviously, like I said earlier to you, 6 days a week is like pretty much the schedules. Monday through Saturday is just putting in some kind of work, and making sure I'm getting better, making sure I'm treating my body right. Just taking care of those things. And yeah, I'm training here in Connecticut um, with my trainer, who I've been training with for now 2 years. His name is Carrington Bex. Um, he has his own facility down in like two towns over, New Canaan, Connecticut, and he trains high school athletes, college athletes, and has trained a few guys in the pros. So yeah, he knows what he's doing. He actually spent some time down in Miami a couple years ago. Not getting paid anything, just to learn from Bomarito. So um, he's definitely knowledgeable, and he's getting me right. So yeah.
Cool. Well, Kenny, obviously, training right now, getting yourself prepared for your pro day at the end of March. And I guess now I just wanted to ask you the question: is there anything else that the people need to know about Kenny Dyson? Whether as a person, your if you have any hobbies, anything else that you're passionate about, anything you want to enlighten people on about you as a person outside of a football player.
Yeah, I'll just keep it real simple. Kenny Dyson Jr. is a student of the game, loves the game, loves to put in work, and loves to get better every single day. Um, you know, Obviously coming from an FCS school, you're underrated, and I think I'm underrated. I think I can compete at every single level possible. Whether coming out of high school, I thought I was going to compete at every single level, and I did. I proved that to myself, and I proved that to the guys in the locker room and the coaches. So I definitely can prove myself. Coming into whatever building I step into, I know I'm going to make an impact right away. But overall, I'm just going to say I'm an underrated prospect, a fun guy, a loving teammate. I love my teammates too. I don't know if that's okay to throw in there, but love my teammates. Love the process of just going in every day and getting after it and getting better. So yeah, Kenny Dyson Jr., underrated prospect, underrated edge rusher, and is gonna fight for his spot.
Gotcha. Again, realize you're trying to get to the next level here very soon, and you have everything in place right now. We're just kind of biding our time right now. Obviously, as you're training towards your ultimate goal. As we close up shop, is there anything else that you got to tell those scouts out there? Any other, uh, anything else that you're going to be able to bring to the table? Like if they were to give you that opportunity, can you close us out with some thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Just you're getting the edge rusher, you're getting the player, you're getting a guy who's dedicated to his craft and dedicated to making every opportunity count. You know, whether I get the opportunity or not, just know that regardless of anything that I do, I'm gonna give it 110% because that's who I am.
Cool. Well, Kenny, want to wish you very best of luck in this process. I realize you're again very busy, so but you take care of yourself. All right.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
No problem. Once again, Kenny Dyson, edge rusher out of Bryant. Got to check this guy out. He's an exciting player to watch.